29 of the Frostnyrrd Saga. We are currently waiting for one of our players, so we're just going to get through the recap, and hopefully he'll turn up, or otherwise, well, bad things will happen to him. So, last session saw our group split in the forest that had been warned not to go in under any circumstance. The majority of the group, without their ranger leading the way, managed to blunder their way through the woods to find a trader camp containing Gamin, a friendly merchant they've spent several journeys with. They shared his campsite for the night. He shared some stories. He warned them that they shouldn't be in the woods, especially after dark, and that he would tell them more in the morning. Kassar, on the other hand, became separated, and he decided the best thing to do, due to the oncoming storm he was caught in, was to climb a tree and wait it out. That tree was promptly knocked down, and he was attacked by a giant wolf that, after biting him several times, retreated into the forest ablaze with alchemy fire. Kassar then headed south as the group headed north with Gamin, and they eventually ran into each other the next morning. The group found that Gamin was heading to Fareltoft, a village they'd been to previously, as a storm had devastated the region, and he was going to render aid with some companions. The group presumed this was due to their stealing of the ritual Sword of Cord, which was the village's way of warding off the Stormlord. Ulfar, recognising this as a symbol of his god, convinced the group to return it to Gamin so it could be returned to its rightful place, but not without having to promise them some future favours. And Gamin was severely disappointed with Kassar and Cluck, and essentially told them that he didn't recognise them anymore. After parting company, not on not too friendly terms, the group headed to Caldiceld and was summoned by Fadak, who informed Cluck and Kassar that an Imperial messenger arrived and was looking for Cluck, 2 humans, and an elf. Now, that elf is no more, as is one of the humans, but the other one is definitely Kassar. And while Fadak told the messenger that he had seen both Cluck and Kassar, he didn't tell him everything, and the messenger has left, presumably in the search for them. The group decided to rest overnight and then spent the next day returning all the stolen artifacts that they'd found, all the stolen knowledge they'd found from the town to their rightful owners. And it's during that time that Kassar was given a special mission from his handler Crawford to essentially find a man called, whose name escapes me, Steph, a man called Kirkland, who had threatened Crawford's family, and to publicly make a spectacle of him, I suppose is a nice way of putting it.
That is indeed correct.
And that's where we're going to pick up.
Hello.
Hello. Can hardly hear you, Pete.
It's just lots of squeaking.
He's rearranging his trolley.
Who's what? Doing what?
And here he is. Welcome, Duvar.
Hello. Sorry about that. Food was just coming. We've come back from holiday and it has been a bit of a mad dash to get ready. So we've had to order pizza.
As long as you've ordered enough for everybody, and that includes the people in the stream, then that's fine.
Yeah, all 3 of us currently in the stream.
Probably not.
Okay.
Oh, it's, as long as you want a slice each, yeah, probably.
So just to confirm, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and you had all gathered outside of the general store.
No, just as we left, me, Critel, and Cluck were heading down to the town hall, I believe.
Yeah, to talk to the Chamberlain.
Yes.
Okay.
I need to get into the game.
So you will head through the town. It's still quite quiet, given the time in the morning, and it's still quite strongly raining, and has been most of the evening and the following morning.
And so, as we're sort of heading towards the town hall, I'll pull out my own personal contract that I had with the Chamberlain. I'm going to hand it sort of rolled up to Critel and just say to him, I need you to keep hold of this, and if anyone asks, you don't have it, and don't look at it. I just need you to keep hold of it for a moment.
Okay, I'll just put it in my pack. I won't really ask questions on that.
Okay.
And then I'll proceed to walk into the town hall once we get there.
Okay. So the sort of ever-present guards that guard it will not stop you as you walk in. You will find the same scene inside. So just to remind you, it's a semicircle of seats facing a large stepped area with several larger seats arranged in a semicircle facing outwards, but more ornate. In the middle of one is the most ornate. They're all currently empty. There's a guard towards the back of the room, off to one of the sides on the side wall that has doors in it, and he's the only person present in this room.
I will ask him if the Chamberlain is around, or if he's in his office.
He will tell you that rather sharply that the Chamberlain isn't around, and is likely not to be back until 2 days hence, as it's technically the weekend, and the building is kind of closed.
Okay. I need to deliver some important documents for the Jarl. Do you know where I might find him?
He says the Jarl is present in his quarters, which forms the other half of this building. But if you have anything, he can take them into him. But otherwise, like people like yourself are not really permitted audiences.
Well, I was meant to give them to the Chamberlain, but if he's not present, and he's not going to be present for a couple of days, I do need to hand them over. They're private documents from this place that was stolen during the great weird occurrence of the mages in the sky. Can you summon the Jarl, possibly?
So as you explain what you want to the guard, a side door will open and the Chamberlain will step out.
Like, don't work weekends, eh?
He says, "Not normally, but these are strange times."
That's true enough. We recovered some of the documents that you lost.
That was stolen.
And that were stolen. And came to return them as agreed. And I'll sort of pull the sheaf of papers from my pack.
He will
And
gesture to enter his office, and he says, "You can tell your bodyguards to wait outside."
I'll sort of nod at Critel and Clark and head into the office.
I'll find like a wall or a pillar or something just to lean up.
Follow. Gretel.
So I got about 2 words of that, Brooks.
Yeah, I'll just follow along with Gretel. We're
Okay.
asked to move out.
Have you still got your volume turned down from the other week?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Don't tell him. Okay, so the Chamberlain will sort of walk over, and he will start to pour himself a drink from the drinks cabinet that he's got into one side. And once he has his drink, he will turn and face you and say, "So what have you brought?"
I'll place the sheaf of papers down and say they're your business. I haven't looked, but this is what we recovered. They bear, I believe they bear his seal.
Certainly the seal of the town of the Owl. He will look over the few that are unbroken. There are 1 or 2 that seem to have been broken, not necessarily by yourselves, but in the process of either them being taken from this place or being sorted by the wizards. And he will
Yeah.
sort of like unfurl one and place his drink down on one side to hold it open as he reads through it. And he will say, "Everything seems to be in order here."
I'll say, well, if there's nothing else,
So he will say, "Is this all you could recover?"
this is everything that I recovered. We recovered a few ledgers from the businesses around town, so you'll find that some of the other places are happier now. I believe we recovered ledgers for the general shop, one of the inns, and the armorer and the weaponsmith. They're all much happier to have their ledgers back in their hands. So the town is grateful.
Make a deception check.
Nice.
You can see him eyeing you, and you're pretty sure that he doesn't believe you, but he doesn't have any reason, or he doesn't have any evidence that you're not being forthright with him.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "That's a shame."
Well, unfortunately, the whole place crashed down on us. We didn't have as much time as we'd wanted to get all the documents back. Once the mages got attacked by some sort of being, a mind flare of some sort, and then the whole place crashed down upon the mountainside to the north of here.
Do you recall where this was? He will ask, growing suddenly interested.
And say, I got lost myself, so I couldn't point it out directly, but I know it's in the mountain range to the north.
He will
It would.
unfurl a map and ask you to sort of indicate where you think it is.
I'll sort of draw a rough circle with my fingers around the southwestern edge of the mountains, or the area around the southwestern part of the mountains. And so we didn't have to travel far until we made it back out. It was a day or two's travel, so it's somewhere near this end.
Says, "Thank you."
Yeah, you're welcome. If that's our business concluded, then I'll take my leave.
Says, "Yes, you are free to leave."
Okay. With that, I'll turn around and leave his office.
He will you will hear him sort of sip on his drink as you leave. You pass back into the main hall.
I'll say to Cretel and Cluck that we can leave now.
I'll nod and we'll aim towards the door.
And say, that's me done, I believe. Has anyone got any business left in town at the moment?
I'm waiting on my sword to be re-edged and silvered.
How long is that
Already,
going to take?
She said to be ready tomorrow.
Okay.
I already picked up mine, so I'm all good.
Well, if we're waiting around another day, at least, then I would ask that I can wait around another day. I'm just waiting on payment from a job, and then I'm quite happy to leave.
That's fine. I might nip into the armor smith though and just see how expensive like a set of plate or something.
Yeah, no worries. I'll come with you. Why not?
Yeah, I can always do with some more armor.
Okay. So as you leave the town hall, we're going to pick up with Duvar and Ulfar, who I assume are together, despite where they are on the map.
Yeah, that's my
Let's
fault.
quickly rush back to his side.
Like a blue shell.
Hello.
Hello, my friend. I don't know about you, but I am rather short on coin. Do you want to go and check the bounty board and see if there is some way for us to make a bit of money?
Yeah, sure, we can do that. And afterwards, I'll buy you a drink.
That sounds good to me, my friend. What do we see on said bounty board? If we don't get stopped on our way there.
No, so it's still pretty quiet around the town, so there's not many people around.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you get there, just want you to make a quick perception check.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a good start. Okay, so there's a few things that take your fancy. The first thing is it's essentially proclaiming the start of a festival in 4 days' time. What you gather to be 4 days' time, which is Moradin's Moradin or Maker's Day festival, and it's quite unusual in that it's called Maker's Day, although it lasts a week. There's also sort of to one side of that. There's also it's more of a proclamation than a notice, but it's about Melora and her holy day coming up at the end of the month, and as the patron saint or the deity of the town, there will be a sort of quite a big. I'm trying to find the right word, really.
Party?
It's definitely not a party type day.
Okay. Damn.
No.
Super service?
So it's essentially it's all around making offerings. So it's about how
Okay.
it's going to people that essentially that can't make their own offering but want to club together. It's sort of like contact a person within the town for more information about that. It also
Okay.
details how the sort of the day will go, and it essentially points you towards a temple if you require more information.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Yes. So there is with your role, you can see behind like the sort of the wanted posters for somebody who sounds quite familiar to you, but you can't quite place it. Not even with your 21. There is a there is a proclamation that is sealed by the Imperial military, and it essentially goes into detail of two humans, an elf, and a Arakoa that are wanted for uh, crimes against the Empire, and it's offering quite a substantial reward for any information leading to their capture.
Does it just say substantial or does it get specific?
It says substantial.
Okay. I will tear that wanted poster down and tuck it in my pack.
Do I notice him do that? Because I don't notice him message.
Based on your, I'd say you'll see him take it down, but you didn't see what was on it. Like it had no interest of you until he took it off.
I think when we are somewhere a bit more discreet, we might need to talk to our friends about that piece of paper that I just took.
Yeah. They've been up to no good in the neighborhood.
Maybe. It's hard to know in this empire. Breaking the law is sometimes the only choice. I have been in such situations myself. Well, there is no quick and easy way to make money as I see it. Go for that drink?
Certainly.
Sounds good to me. I suppose we go to the old bog standard across the road.
Why not?
Okay. The other thing you notice with your 21 Ulfa is you will
Okay.
notice that there's somebody watching the bounty board from afar. And when you turn to get a better look, he disappears down an alleyway.
Okay. Sneaky bastard encounter killed. Noted. Cool.
Okay. Kassar, Cluck, and Quittel.
All right, I suppose we head in.
Yeah.
Into the obsidian everything.
If I remember rightly, that's the one that does armor.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
It
got
does a
armor.
multitude of things, but there is an armourer present.
Sinra.
So inside you will find a well-built human male hammering on an anvil and making what looks to be a set of ring mail. He will greet you as you enter.
Good day. I was just wondering what the cost of a decent suit of armor would.
He will say that all of his work is decent, and you will have to be more specific. What is it you're after?
Just a suit of heavy armor, preferably heavier than chain.
Lorica segmentata.
No, you're not got the total with you.
He says, I can. I normally work with rings and chains, but I have in my past been known to make the odd plate for when time calls.
And how much would you charge to make plate?
He will say for a breastplate, 500 gold. More material, the more the cost.
Okay, I'm not carrying that kind of money at the moment, but at least now I know.
He will laugh and say most people don't carry that sort of money in this town. You're likely to lose it if you carry it with you.
Although I do have some stuff on me you might be interested in to look at.
Do go on.
And I'll take out those ingots that I took from Ares' body.
He will say, I've not seen cold iron for some time. I believe that's what they were.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Would these be any use to you, and how much would they knock off the price?
He will sort of look at them and say, "It's not generally a material he works in. Their anti-fey properties tend to dictate that they're used in weaponry. You could see if Harry gives you a good price for them, but I'm afraid they won't be of much use to me. So I'm going to offer you nothing."
That's fine. I also have 4 gemstones. I'm unsure if you'll find those useful.
He will tell you that the best place to go for gemstones is the building opposite.
Okay, I'll go make my inquiries, and then if I make enough, I'll come.
He'll say you want to speak to Foldris the dwarf in the Emerald Key opposite.
Okay, thank you for the information.
And he will turn to your friends and say, "Anything I can help you with, gentlemen?"
Unless Clark has anything to say. I'll ask him if he's got any shields for sale at all.
Okay. I can't remember if you've been in here before, but he will go
I
through
have not.
the act
I
of
don't think.
he will point to the wall behind him where you will see 2 large brass shields with engraved with large lidded eyes, like essentially an eye in each shield, but together they make a pair. And you
Say
say,
what's with the eyes.
says, "Please help yourself to something." And he will sort of
So,
gesture to like some of his tools are on the bench or some of the other bits and pieces that are not knocking around the armory.
okay, so if I pick up one of the tools,
The eyes on both shields will open and look at you.
I just sort of tell him, okay. So, what's the deal?
He'll say, chuckling to himself, that these are my sentries.
Okay, so what, they warn you if danger's around or something? Or if someone's trying to steal from your shop?
They do make quite the good deterrent. Says they make you more aware of things that are going on. And a man who is more aware of his surroundings can act with much better idea of what will happen.
Okay, and how much did one of those shields go for?
He will say that if you can't afford plate armor, it's likely you won't be able to afford the shields.
Right, are they that expensive? What about just a normal shield?
He says I can fashion a shield for you. I should be able to knock that together in probably half a day.
Okay, how much? How much for your work?
15 gold.
Let's say 10.
Let's say 15.
Let's say 10. Come on, meet me in the middle.
Let me show you the door.
I've been to other towns that sell them for 10. I know if I'm being overcharged.
He says yes, and your opportunities to find a shield in this town, in this vicinity, are limited. So I know how much my shields are worth.
12, best offer.
He will continue to decline.
I'll say fair enough. And I'll leave. I'm not going to bow to this man.
And he will turn to you, Cluck, and say, "And you, Master Bird, how about you?"
I will ask him if he can do anything to upgrade my current spiked armor in any way.
He will look over it and say, "Perhaps I could give it some decorative flourish."
Didn't want decorative flourish. I want more.
Some more spikes.
Some more resistance against weaponry.
He says that that is a skill beyond him. If he wanted new armor fashioned, he's more than capable. But to remake something as unusual as that and improve it is beyond his skill.
I'll say, very well. Good day to you, sir.
He says farewell.
We will leave the building.
Okay.
Alright. I was going to say I'm going to go into the place opposite to see if I can get rid of my gems.
Yep. So
I've got
the
a few as
place
well.
opposite Cretella. So as you come out, you'll see that the building opposite you is on a lower level, and you've come out sort of above the roof line of it, and it appears to be a thatched cottage type building with no.
I think he meant Harry's Forge. He meant next door, not
Oh
opposite.
no, that would be for the bars. But as I see that, I will go in there first and then work my way round to the other.
Okay, Cluck and Kassar.
I'll just head outside and sort of wait on the corner. Just sort of sit and watch the world go by. Do some people watching.
Looking for more cats.
Tweet.
There's like, I know there's one cat who likes to roam around here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have some gems to sell, but we'll try and get them all sold at the same time.
Okay.
So I'll perch up against the wall.
So Cretella, you will go into Harry's forge and you'll find Harry there working on a very familiar looking scimitar.
Good day.
Back already?
Yeah, I've got a question for you, and I'll take the ingots out and place them on the table.
Should say. And your question?
I wondered if these were worth anything to you, and if you'd be willing to buy.
She will sort of like look at them, turn them over in her hand, and say, "Cold iron, is it not?"
I believe so. Yes.
Says, what are you looking for them?
Well, the price of something is only as much as people are willing to pay.
She'll smile and say, "That's true."
So, what are they worth to you to buy 3 of these off from me?
Funny enough, I'm just trying to find the price of iron. I'm sure I had something about trade bars earlier, and I can't find it. Please stand by, caller. Your sale is important to us. We'll be with you after these words from our sponsors.
We don't have one yet.
Shh. Here we go. How many pounds would you say a bar weighs?
Bar of iron.
depends on the
Yeah.
size of the bar.
Of course it
Uh,
does. A standard bar of iron.
We're talking about ingot kind of bar,
Yeah.
aren't we?
It's about 8 grams, according to Google.
What?
That's what it says.
8 grams.
That's what Google says. Oh no, 8 grams per centimeter cubed. Okay, so it's got to do math.
About
It's
£20. That'll do.
8 times a
20
million.
pounds is about right. 20 pounds of iron, something like that, yeah.
Iron ingot weight, yeah. So an iron block costs, yeah.
About 8 kilos, which is pounds.
2.2 pound per kilo, give or take.
She will offer you 80 gold for the bars.
Too shabby.
Make it 85, and they're yours.
She will say that she's taking the risk on the item because unless somebody wants something made of cold iron, they'll just sit here gathering dust. And that 80 gold is what she sees as a fair price.
Okay, you've done me many a favour so far. I will take the 80.
She will thank.
And I will thank her for the gold.
And she says, "No, like, here, maybe I can ask you something.
Go for it.
You seem like you could do with a new weapon. Maybe something made out of cold iron, perhaps." And she will suppress a laugh.
Well, my foes generally aren't Fae these days. Well, not yet, anyway. If I do happen to start coming across Fae, I'll know where to come back to.
Says, yes, it's not a common material for our fair island.
Plus, I don't know if Feydark would like people walking around with one.
She will say, fade out. Don't worry about him. He's not nearly fair enough for this to be dangerous, despite what he might tell you.
Also, I see you're currently working on one of my companion's weapons.
She says, yes, it's quite unusual, like the two cutting edges.
Yeah, he makes use of both as well fairly often.
She'll say, I'm not surprised. The edges are worn and notched.
It's not always your usual targets. I've seen him hit a door with it.
That will explain that, and she will hold it up, and you can see where the
chunk.
yeah, there's a particularly bad bit of blade missing.
Yeah, he sometimes doesn't really act himself and just attacks anything in sight.
She'll say, I'll remember that next time he tries to haggle on price.
He's not too bad most of the time, though.
She says, I'm sure he's quite the honourable fellow. He paid up front.
Definitely honourable. And on that note, I need to take my leave. I've got other places I need to go to before I move on.
She will bid you a good day.
Good day to yourself. And then I'll turn around and leave.
Okay, you will find Cluck and Kassar waiting outside.
Get anything good?
Oh, I got 80 gold for them. It could have been
Better than
better,
nothing.
could have been worse.
It's something.
Gold is gold.
Yep. Alright, hopefully these gems sell for a bit more, because I'm still under half for my armor.
So I've still got half a dozen bloodstones and a couple of garnets I need to get shot of.
Yeah, hopefully we don't flood the shop too much with them and they start paying too
No, I don't mind keeping hold of mine. They are shiny.
low. Oh, and I saw in there she's working on your scimitar at the moment.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's in need of some TLC.
Yeah, there was a lot of notches and dings in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, shall we walk around to the jewelers?
Yeah, see what we can sell.
Okay, so you will find yourself outside a shop that is denoted by a hanging sign that says the Emerald Key. There is a door that is propped open, and you're sort of like invisibly welcomed in by the whole facade.
I'll just
I
start
will.
looking around the shop as I walk in.
Yeah, and I'll walk in.
Okay, as you walk in, you will hear a cry of welcome, welcome from a quite a old-looking female dwarf behind the counter. She's adorned with expensive-looking clothing in shades of yellow and tan, and she has multiple rings and necklaces on her hands and neck.
Good day to you. I was wondering if you would like to purchase these or what they were worth, and I'll produce the gemstones.
Okay, she will pull out a small magnifying glass and start to look over the gems without handling them. Says, "Oh, interesting, very interesting. Did you find them anywhere interesting?" She'll ask as she looks at each one.
Well, I don't know about interesting, but it wasn't a very nice place.
And you're looking to have them made into something, or just looking to sell?
Currently, just looking to sell. I'm currently in the market for upgrading my armor and my equipment.
Okay. She will tell you, and do you have a price in mind? And she'll sort of look at you with up at you with a magnifying glass now.
Uh, Preferably 100 or more per.
Uh, that seems reasonable. Would you like gold or store credit?
Gold, please.
She says, "Right you are," and she will start counting out the coins ever so slowly on the counter. After
While I'm
about
looking around,
10,
sorry, while
sorry, go.
go. I was gonna say while all sort of that's being carried out, what kind of things do we see she's got set being sold like on the sides and everything?
Okay, so there's several large cabinets hung with expensive-looking jewelry. Now, the vast majority of it does look cosmetic, but I'll let you both make a perception check to see if you see anything else.
Could have been worse.
Could have been much worse.
Eyesight's better than in real life.
Mine, the other hand.
Could always rely on you, man.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so your eyes are drawn to a necklace that seems to be hung aside from the rest of the jewelry in one of the cabinets. And you can't tell what it is, but given that the necklace has a number of beads hanging off it and they're fairly plain in comparison to everything else the in the cabinet, it stands out, but it stands out for its like plain and dullness rather than anything else.
Okay. Is it still metal? The chain, or is it like a cord type thing?
It's like yeah, like a string.
Okay. I'll wait till after she's finished counting out the gold, and I'll ask the shopkeepers, what's this item doesn't seem to fit in with the rest of your inventory that's so shiny.
She will tell you. Well, first of all, she'll finish counting out her the coins for you, Quittel, which takes about 10 minutes,
Jesus.
and then she will sort of push it over to you and say, 400 gold.
And I thank you.
And she will take the gems and she will sort of start to clean them up in her hands before placing them under the counter, and you don't quite see where she places them.
No, also will stand in and say I've got 2 garnets I'd like to potentially sell.
So do you sort of just like jump in as Kassar's about to say something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Standard.
And she will sort of again repeat the action she's just done with Quittel. So she'll pull out a little magnifying glass and start looking at the gems as you turn them over for her. So very interesting. And how did you come about these?
Same place as my dear friend Quittel. We picked them up whilst on our travels.
And do you have a price in mind?
200 gold for both.
She will say that seems like a fair price, and will start counting out coins one at a time. And after about 5 minutes has passed, there's 200 gold on the counter.
Pleasure to be doing business with you.
She'll say, you are most welcome.
I'll say, sorry, Kazal, you can.
Prattle on.
No, money comes first. Money comes before my curiosity. So yeah, once she's finished, I'll ask the question.
Okay. And what was that question? Sorry, it's been such a long time.
Sorry,
plain.
just what's with the plain piece here amongst all the other shiny stuff? It seems a bit out of place.
She'll say, "Oh, that's because it's not what it first appears to be. That is what's generally known as a necklace of fireballs."
As in the magic, and I'll just sort of make the thing with my hands go those fireballs.
She will nod and say, "Yes, those fireballs."
Jesus. Well, I bet that's an expensive piece of jewelry. I was actually just going to ask you if you sort of sell a similar type of cord, to be honest.
First team.
She would say, "Yes, I can furnish any sort of cord or chain or anything really. What is it you're after exactly?"
I'm just looking for a cord. I'm a bit of a hunter myself, and I'd sort of like to make a little trophy necklace of some of the things that I've hunted along the way. And I was just hoping I could get a bit of a durable cord to go through them.
She will tell you that she's got some fine iron or copper sort of thin chains that might work. Anything sort of cheaper would be in the realms of string, and that she would point you to the general store.
Okay. So if I pull out sort of some of the teeth I've got, so I've got the wolf incised teeth, the polar bear teeth, the orc tusks, and the half ogre tusks, and just sort of lay them down. I've also got a wasp queen mandible and a spider mandible, but I don't know how well. And I'll sort of place them all down. I'd be like, how much would it be to put these onto like a cord?
Hmm. Says and she sort of like pick up some of the teeth and turn them over. She will avoid the more mandible type things. Says the teeth would be quite easy to work with. I don't want to touch those, and she will just gesture to them,
That's fine.
and she will say, for the work of this nature, 20 gold.
Johnny, you've been generous to my friends with their equipment, so sure, 20 gold. If how long until you can get this done for me?
Uh, she will say a day, perhaps two. It really depends on how easy the teeth are to fashion.
Okay. Well, I should be here for 2 days, so I'll return just before we leave.
It says, please take those with you. And again, she'll gesture at the non-teeth parts.
Okay, so the spider mandible and the wasp queen mandible,
Yeah.
I'll take back. So it's wolf incisor teeth, a polar bear tooth for the center, then it's 2 orc tusks, and then at the far sides it'll be 2 half ogre tusks, which I imagine are just slightly bigger.
Mike, I love the fact that you walked into like a fancy jewelry store and just like dropped like a handful of dirty teeth on the counter and like, one on necklace, please.
I want my little huntsman's necklace.
I completely get it, but like, can you imagine going to an actual jewelry store and doing that?
This is the first jewelry place I've ever seen. This is considered appropriate for me. I'm like, pleasure doing business with you. Can't wait to see what you fashion.
Okay. Anything for you? In fact, no. I think we've been through all three of you. She will say now. Is there anything else I can help with?
That
Just
was
out of,
everything for me.
I was gonna say, just out of curiosity, how much does one of those necklace of fireballs go for?
She will smile and say, more than I've just paid your friends. Much more.
I can imagine. Oh well, thank you, and I'll be back in a day or two.
She will say, have a good day, gentlemen.
At that point, I guess we'll head out.
Okay. Duvar and Ulfar. So you walk into the bog standard.
I thought we'd be on our second pint by now.
Yeah.
Time always seems to come to a standstill at a pub. So
Okay, well, let's get some drinks in.
yeah, so Akril will welcome you in and seat you at a table near the door. Being to the stranger types that have come through town lately, doesn't want you getting all his good stuff.
Is there anything going in the tavern at the moment? Do we notice anything different? Is anybody else there?
No, it's exceptionally quiet. It's about sort of. It's still very much early morning.
Yeah. Day drinking is what we're doing.
Yeah, it's perfect then. Perfect time for a drink.
Yeah, he will.
Is the Shadow Pass yard home?
Probably not.
It is somewhere.
Oh dear.
Okay. I asked Alpha what he wants to drink. What we'd like.
Ooh. Choices. I will. I think you are more knowledgeable on subject than me. I will trust your judgment.
I'll ask the barman what he has in stock. Does he have anything special?
Bear with.
Mm-hmm.
He will say that he has some wine, some lager, a nice fruit ale, maybe some brandy.
Excellent. I'll ask how much for a bottle of brandy.
A bottle of brandy.
Yeah.
He will tell you that a bottle of brandy is 4 gold and a silver piece.
We'll buy it. Why not?
Okay. He will fetch.
Tank top.
He will fetch a bottle of brandy and bring across 2 shot glasses and set them down.
Perfect. I pour. Oh, for a double to
he
start
seems
off
to be
with.
stood there waiting for his payment.
Gold. All right then. We'll give him his payment then. I hand over the 4 gold and the silver and the silver piece.
He will go away biting the gold.
Bottoms up.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
This may continue for a while.
yeah. I will sort of go. Yes, the piece of paper, like in a hushed tone, the piece of paper that I pulled from the board. The Empire has put a wanted notice out on at least 3 of our friends, Kretel, Kassar, and Clark, as I saw them, and an elf as well, but I did not recognize this description. There is also there was a man watching us when we were there. I don't know of the he ran into an alley before I could identify him, but evidently there is strange goings on in this place.
Do you think he'll? Do we know? Have any idea why he might be watching the board?
No, but after our conversation with Feydark, I suspect that maybe the Empire didn't leave quite as swiftly as he thought they did. That would be my only guess.
Yes. Maybe maybe we should be keeping an eye on the alley.
Perhaps. But first we drink.
First we drink. Oh yes.
I think you can probably swap back. I think that's going to go on for a bit.
Okay.
I was waiting for the do a con save.
Okay, so picking back up with Cluck, Cassar, and Cretel.
Well, I now have enough to buy my armor.
I just quickly ask Rotel for the bit of paper I gave him earlier.
Ah, yes. I'll put my hand in my pack and I'll hand it over. So how comes you needed this hiding when we were going into the town hall anyway?
It's not something the Chamberlain needs to find. It's just in case.
Fair enough.
So unless we have any other business in town, I'll sort of ask Cluck if he has anything he needs to do, or if Cretel has anything he needs to do at the brewery.
So I'm just gonna head to the back to the bog.
Fair enough.
I have to wait till the morning to pick up my scimitar anyway. So
Yeah, I have to wait until tomorrow at least to pick up some payment and also pick up that necklace.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head over back to the obsidian everything and see if I can get this armor started. Hopefully it doesn't take too long.
Okay. So you'll find Sinra in there, kind of like just still working on this what you assume is a set of mail. He will say,
Is it
back
made
so
up?
soon?
Yes, so this breastplate you were on about.
Yes.
How long would it take you to make one?
He does that sucking air through his teeth. He goes, and starts to stroke his chin and say, if I was to prioritize it, yes, maybe 40 days.
That takes a while.
Says it's quite skilled work, I'll have you know.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know where I'll be in 40 days. So, unfortunately, unless you've got one that you could just lightly modify to fit me, I'm going to have to pass on it at the moment, unfortunately.
You will say that, no, armor like this must be made to measure. He will say to you that perhaps you're with the Brotherhood. If they know where to
Yes.
find you, I could make it and you could have them send it to you. Or you could come back in 40 days.
True, they could deliver it to me. However, I probably could have scavenged something within 40 days.
Yes, but probably not as good as it should be.
I'm just looking over the stats of a breastplate, actually. I'm not sure it's better than chainmail.
It is not. And thanks to your effort today, Kratel, I have applied a -2 modifier to Ulfar for having badly made armor or badly fitted armor.
You son of a bitch. Have you already applied it on D&D Beyond?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Looks like you're going to have yours retailored.
Wouldn't it be better against arrows, though?
Well, it's either make the armor worse or give you permanent disadvantage on attacks. And I figured making the
Okay.
armor worse was a fair compromise.
Okay.
Kinda.
Fair enough.
So I
Yeah,
think
so-
you're the only one wearing plate currently, so
Fair enough. I'd obviously notice it's ill-fitting and not quite working the way it should. Would be
yes.
fair to say.
I mean, you
Yeah.
did make it out of like
Of-
bits
yeah,
scavenged from
bits.
animated
Yeah.
armor. So
Yeah. Yeah.
You
No,
know,
that's fair enough.
you've got like a red arm, rather the rest, like C-3PO from the latest
Yes.
Star Wars.
Yeah. It's no. It's
Yeah, so the only thing better for me would be full plate. So I'm gonna have to hold off, I think.
He can tell you that he wouldn't be comfortable making a full suit of plate armor. The articulation required would be beyond his skill. But one of the armorers in the big city, they can make that fancy full plate.
Okay, I will probably have a word with those if I end up that way.
He will say that you're more than welcome to stop by again.
That's okay. If I'm in town and I need anything, I will do. And I'll bid him good day, and I will leave.
Quickly, before he charges you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've just found a nice little manual for coming up with times and costs for crafting, which also involves like the skill of the blacksmith and stuff making it. So the better the blacksmith, the quicker it is, and the more likely it is to be an item of superior quality, which affects the value.
Ooh.
Should be handy going forward.
Yeah, how do we know how good the blacksmith is?
we probably won't.
Otherwise,
Uh,
they were just gonna
the
charge us
It's
out.
better
fair to
shop
say-
that he has, the better
Yeah,
he is.
The fancier the blacksmith, the fancier the work.
I mean, if he makes fish hooks for a living, he's probably not the best person to buy armor from.
He's a guy.
Depends if you want armor full of fish hooks.
As long as they're on the outside.
That's kind of what Cluck's wearing at the moment.
If everyone's sort of starting to head back, where's Kritel? Where are you heading after this?
Probably to get a drink, because I realised I can't afford the armor I actually need, and he can't even make.
Sad times. Alright. So as everyone's sort of going up towards the bog, then I'm going to break off and sort of bid them adieu and say I'm going to head to the Sunken Night for a while.
Okay. Cluck and Kassar and Kratel, I would like you to make perception checks.
Oh, it's a day for critical fails on perception checks, apparently.
Yeah, I know, right? 7 again.
Yeah.
Good to be consistent, man.
Okay. You will make it to your destinations.
Oh dear.
Don't
Well-
assume the worst.
Well, no, but at least with Critel's 19, I don't know whatever it is was doing a pretty good job hiding. So that
Yeah, it wasn't a
Assuming
bad
it's
roll.
something, right?
yeah. If everyone had rolled badly, I'd be more worried. Oh dear.
Yeah, as I sort of go into the sunken night, I'm gonna head to the back / underground room,
Hmm.
and when I sort of get to the front desk, I'm just gonna ask if there's anyone fighting in the cage tonight.
The person on the sort of the reception area will tell you that there's no fights scheduled, and next one will be Monday.
Monday. What day is today?
He looks at you puzzled. He will tell you that today is Sunday.
Okay. I've been out of town for a while. I've not been keeping track.
He will say Sunday, Sunday, Monday.
Right, gotcha. So I'll is there any sort of gambling going on at any of the tables?
He says it's a bit early. You could try this evening. We're normally a bit fuller on the weekend.
Fair enough. I'll just sit in the sunken night and have an ale at that point.
Okay.
Just sit around for a bit.
So, Cretel and Cluck, you will enter the bog standard, and on entering, you can see that Ulfar and Duvar are sat by the door.
Are they still conscious or are they asleep?
They've probably
How
been,
much of the bottles left?
yeah, they've probably drunk sort of 2, maybe 3 glasses by now. Does that sound about right, Ulfar, Duvar?
I think that's probably fair.
Yeah, do we see them?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Let's do that.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. We'll find that.
The perils of day drinking.
Yeah.
I hate this Constitution save. Is that the right one?
+1.
I'm going to guess that's the right one.
That is
No,
not the
that's
right
not.
one, but the
Excellent.
dice will do because it's the same modifier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Ulfar seems to notice you. Duvar seems to be sort of like half withdrawn into his shell, or at least his head is.
In his cups. My friends,
pouring the mug into his shell.
welcome!
Now I notice them, so I'll call. I shout them over. Come over. I wave them over.
Yeah, you're a bit incoherent.
Yeah, I wave them over, and I raise my hand to the barman for 2 more glasses.
The barman brings over 4 new glasses.
We'll take a pew at the table.
Yep, I will sit down.
Given Duvar's state, I'll probably do the pouring just to save it. Just pour another round out for the table. Any news from your travels, friends?
Not a lot. Sold a few gems.
Yeah, just made some money back really. I've got my sword now. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any new armor here though. I think we're probably going to need to find a more specialized smith.
Yes. I think this armor that I sort of pushed together is not sitting on me very well. I probably need it looked at some point, but probably when I have more money and I'm less drunk.
Or find a smith you can do a favor for.
This is a good point. A very good point. Oh, by the way, okay, David, Ulf was about to try and whisper how Compass is he enough to be quiet.
Yeah, fairly.
Fairly, okay.
You're holding off the effects of alcohol quite aptly.
Okay, so I'll lead across the table. Is like there was a wanted notice for both of you and Kassa and some other guy and an elf on the bounty board. They were offering a substantial, and I do like finger quotes, reward, which is bullshit. And also someone was watching when I found. but I didn't see you. But yes, I think the sooner we get out of this town, the better. I think. Also, now that I come to think of it, why the fuck are you wanted by the Empire?
Well, I've not really done anything towards them, but Fadark did warn us that someone was asking questions.
Yes. You say you haven't. Clark, do you have more knowledge of why the Empire would be wanting to hunt you?
Well, we may have broken out of an Empire encampment many moons ago, fighting our way through what can only be described as a coliseum of sorts.
What did you do to get put in a coliseum?
Don't know, we were bundled into the back of a wagon, where we were dumped into a slave quarters.
Fucking assholes. I hate this fucking Empire. They
No,
all
it's not
pretend to be
your fault.
all high and mighty, and come to the church and they say they are good, but they are fucking assholes.
So we have fought many beasts, killed many people along our way, breaking out, picking up
I
the tin
understand.
along the way.
I trust more in you than I trust this. So I will do my best to help you in whatever comes of this bounty.
You will become a enemy of the Empire.
Yeah, I care not for the laws of
Yeah, enemies. Who cares?
man. Enemies. Okay. What happened to Kasa?
He had an errand to run.
Okay, that's secretive. Whatever.
Yes.
He spends a lot of time at the Sunken Knight. I think he prefers the beer there.
Okay, fair enough. Right, bottoms up, everybody. Pour another round.
Yeah.
Do the whole ching thing and then
Yeah,
drink the drink.
Come by.
What time of day is it, David?
like
Still?
9 in the morning.
Before noon.
Before noon.
Proper day drinking.
Yeah. Row.
Got to stay true to the character.
Well, there's not much else to do while we're just waiting on Cluck's weapon to be reformed.
This is true.
Speaking of the bounty board, did you find anything else of interest there, like something we could do while we were waiting?
That's why I went to look. There is the Makers Festival in a few days. There's some special Melora Day, which sounds like a drag. Something about offerings. There was another wanted poster. The face seemed familiar, but I could not remember. If that is the only thing on there that might have been of value, unless I wanted to hand you guys. Yeah, so yeah, I didn't recognize the other wanted face. You could go and have a look, but other than that,
If there weren't anything for like going and destroying a nest of orcs or anything like this, then not really something worth doing.
no. I mean, like, also there was a bounty a week ago for spiders, but we walked all the way through that forest. I didn't see a single bloody spider. I think that must have been dealt with.
No, the spiders are definitely there.
Yeah, we've had a tussle with them before.
Yeah, but as I said, the bounty is not there anymore, so they must not. Somebody must have either dealt with it or nobody gives a shit anymore.
Yeah, I thought that dwarf geezer said the woods were dangerous. So we didn't see anything problems.
Yeah, it was super easy. I think Gammon is just a pussy.
He's been around a long time. It might not have been bad then, but we have been in those woods, and Yeah, we were lucky the first time.
Fair dues. Drink! Another round gets poured.
I will continue drinking.
Lucasar's going to come back and we're just going to be a mess in the
I see. I don't see Cluck drinking very much, so I pour him an extra one.
No, we'll duly
You need to-
scalp both of them.
You need to catch up.
Now you're double parked and have to neck one.
As I said, I will duly tank both of them back.
Oh, dear.
And then pour myself one more.
So what are the plans then? You guys you're getting. Did I hear something about armor? Or you're getting armor?
No,
Oh,
I'm
I
getting my
went to
weapon
look.
repaired.
Unfortunately, there's no smith here skilled enough to create the armor I would need.
And I'm getting my weapon repaired, re-edged, silvered.
I see. And what we plan to do after? He says in a slightly inebriated way.
Probably make headway to one of the cities I would have bought.
Well, I still need to go and visit Badir on a mission from my brotherhood. Apparently, they need some aid at the moment.
Yes, I've heard they have some good weapon / armor smiths. From talking to the
Where is Badir?
That's right. Yeah.
Kind of due northeast from here.
Okay.
Would have to walk a fair bit around the water, but it's that or we borrow another boat.
Is it
Ugh.
worth? If it worth looking, is there any stables here?
And I'll quickly mention that we still haven't been paid back for the fee to be lifted into the Sky Castle. Looking at Ulfar.
And
Yes, I.
I'll quickly pour him another drink.
I'll say as soon as I've got it, you've got it, buddy. I I have no money. But
I know you're good for it. I wouldn't have lent you it otherwise.
Thank you, my drink.
Bloody Russians.
Oh, dear.
When it gets to the point that I see nothing's going on at the Sunken Night, I'll sort of head out and head up towards the bog standard.
Okay, I'd like you to make a perception check as you walk that way.
Big numbers, big numbers. Yes, that's what we want.
Okay. On your way to the bog standard down one of the many alleyways, you will see a group of men gathered.
So if I come out of the alleyway, just ping it on the map where I see them gathered, or whereabouts I got to where I see them gathered. Right, so about there. Okay. Alright, so as I sort of walk up, do I suspect anything, or do I just see them gathered? Essentially, I don't see anything weird.
You see them gathered and talking in hushed tones, and as your eyes are drawn to them, off your perception, you can see quite clearly they are members of the town watch, and they seem to be gathering and talking together, and they seem to be waiting.
Okay.
Talking about chocolate, clearly.
Yeah. Sort of down the alleyway, am I able to sort of slip behind any of the, sort of slip down the side of one of the houses or the little warehouses down there, and sort of try to creep behind them almost?
Not unless you can walk on water. You could attempt to climb
Okay.
over a building, But that would be that essentially from where you can see that the only way to get there is in the alleyway they're currently congregating.
Okay. Seeing a large, if they're town watch and they're visibly town watch, like a large group of guards, probably going to avoid them, given by nature.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of going to go the other way, so down this way.
Okay, so you sort of like you
Back up.
you see him at the corner and you turn around and walk the other way.
Yep.
Okay. A few seconds after you've turned, they seem to start to follow you
Oh dear.
quite quickly.
Okay.
What do you do?
So
So they're sort of like you'd be like here, and they'll be
Yeah.
turning the corner and following you quickly.
okay. So as I sort of as I turn this corner here, then
At your current speed, they would overtake you.
oh, really, are they running quite almost like running then?
They're not running, but they're sort of like almost jogging.
barely walking.
Okay. I'll hurry my pace slightly.
Okay. They still seem to be gaining on you.
Peg it.
So can I, at the pace I'm going, if I'm sort of doing a fast walk, am I able to get round the corner at all?
You're probably going to be in front of the sunken knight as they reach you.
Right. Okay.
Vámonos.
So yeah, if they reach me, what do they do when they reach me?
They pass you and turn into the sunken knight.
Okay.
It was nothing to do with you.
I'm gonna continue then and sort of head down that way still. And then I'm gonna sort
As you start to cross that bridge, you will see Fadak with another 4 guards crossing the bridge towards you.
oh, for God's sake.
Stop backing away again.
No, just sort of, has Fadark seen me at this point?
Yeah, it's you're fairly stand outish.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll just sort of walk up to him, friendly smile, and sort of try
Yeah.
to pass him.
He will sort of like stare at you as he walks past you with his men.
Okay.
But as soon as you're sort of level, he will start to focus forward.
Okay. As I get past him, I'll sort of then jog up to the bog standard.
Okay, as you do,
That one's been spooked.
you're not sure if it's the situation with the guards or something else, but you feel uneasy, as if you're being watched. Although every time you try to look around to see if you are being watched, you don't see anybody. And just to remind you, it's still heavily raining and has been throughout the morning.
Yeah, so I'll head up towards the bog standard at quite a quick pace and try and make my way in.
Okay.
And yeah.
You will find a fairly inebriated group of people. I would like everybody else now present to make Constitution saving throws.
Okey-doke.
Is Duvar and Ulfar at like they've been
Duvar,
drinking
disadvantage.
yeah. That's what I was thinking. You've been drinking since like 8 a.m. They've been drinking since
Oof.
like 10 a.m.
Do I get any bonus for being a part of the Brotherhood?
Yeah, I'm fine.
No, you do not get any resistance to alcohol.
Don't need it.
Okay,
It
so-
started to hit me.
Ulfar, yeah, you're a bit inebriated. Duvar, you've not got any worse, thankfully,
Yeah.
but you're in your sort of same state you were,
Mhm.
half cooked.
Half cooked. Perfect for fighting.
Yes. What is your monk mastery again?
Brewery, isn't it? Something like that.
Drunken.
Wet
Memory
It's,
serves.
drunken
it's
fist.
drunk as fists, yeah, that's it.
Um, And Cluck's joining us at the half cup stage. Is that fair to say? Or
No, Cluck, he's okay.
Hmm.
He's
Okay.
a seasoned warrior.
Season. Season.
Man on my bulking frame can handle many
Season.
drinks.
Do we see our friend enter the
Yeah.
bar?
Duvar and Ulfar do not immediately become aware of Cassette.
So sort of as I come in, I assume I can't really miss the half-drunk group of turtles,
Well,
humans, and
Yeah.
the
literally
giant
the only-
chicken man.
We're
Probably
literally
as
the only
you
ones
walk-
in the bar.
Probably as you walk through the door, I probably go, drink! Again.
Probably.
I'm pouring out another round sloppily.
I'll sort of walk up to the table, and
Yeah, there's about a quarter bottle of brandy on the table.
And since he's walked up to the table, I must notice him, so I'll call over another glass from the barman.
Even though we've already got an extra 3. More glasses. All the glasses.
I'll say, not to be the bearer of bad news, but you may want to stop drinking. We may
Boo!
need to make a swift exit. Something's happening in town. I came here as fast as I could. There's town watch everywhere.
I think you should stop thinking and start drinking.
Well,
Why would we be worried about town watch?
Because they are wanted criminals, remember? I'm just not being subtle at all.
and remember, you're associated with us.
Yeah, look, you got a lovely wanted poster. And I show you that you're just brandishing it on the table. Look, who's the elf and this other man? Do your
I'll
friends die a lot? Are
I'll
they
snatch-
dead?
I'll snatch it away from him and say, we broke out from slavery, nothing more, and reclaimed our own lives.
That's very cool. It's a very shitty thing to do to someone to make them a slave.
The wanted poster doesn't have any pictures on it, but it has a fairly accurate description of Cluck down to his plumage, and then you kind of fill in the blanks with everybody else.
Say two of us is have died since only me and Cluck remain. We are gladiatorial partners.
Oh, partners, eh? I thought you guys were close.
Don't start on me and your Stormlord.
Hey,
But I'll
Hey,
be
you
I'll be
guys
honest.
Me a sword.
I'll be honest. We may want to sort of hide out a little bit. I'm not sure if you're a bit too inebriated though, Ulfar. But
maybe.
Clark and
Where do you want to hide?
I don't know. We've got stuff to pick up in town tomorrow, but I'm not sure how much time we've got. We may have to come back tomorrow.
We can always camp outside for now.
That's true.
Won't be comfortable, but wouldn't be the first time.
But it's pissing down with rain.
Silly question, but are we worried about the town watch or somebody else?
Well, I've seen two large groups of town watch walking around, and Fadar gave me a funny look when I saw him. I don't think
Oh.
things are going particularly well.
If he wanted you, he would have stopped you there and then.
That is true. He seems like a man that doesn't wait around.
No, but I did see some people walking into Crawford's pub. You remember Crawford, the man who saved us?
Yeah.
Something's happening, and my bet is the Chamberlain is behind it or the Empire is behind it. Neither of which bodes well for our particular group.
If this Crawford is your friend, should we not go and help him?
Not sure how we would. If the town watch is there, we daren't kill them.
Ulfar, you will gain a point of inspiration for your very accurate portrayal of being drunk.
Thank you. Yay! I'm gonna be drunk more often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do not want to really upset Fadark. He's already done a lot for us already.
And the last thing I want you doing is casting a lightning storm inside a small pub.
I would never. No, that does sound like.
Can you? And I'll raise a question. Can you do that?
If there's a hole in the roof,
How depends how big it is.
In your case, not very big.
You are naughty. Um. Right. Okay. I should not be making any plans. I may have drunk a little bit too much. What is the plan?
we head back to where we found Gammon, I say.
Really? All that way?
I'd rather not be too close to town, but still in a point where we can kind of gauge what's going on by the road.
Yeah. We could hide in the woods.
I am weaponless.
You're never weaponless, Clark, and I'll point at your talons.
It's not a double-edged scimitar though.
No, but they're yours.
Well, I can lend you my longsword for now.
If we see the need for it, I will take you up on that.
Well, I'll hand it to you now because it's best to have it and not need it, and need it and not have it.
Yeah, this is true.
You said need a lot in that.
You're drunk, you don't understand.
You are right, sir.
So yeah, I say we head back to that camp because if Gammon stopped there, we know it's just far enough in to be covered, but also not too far in to cause trouble.
That is true. Although we don't have any tents, and it's pissing it down with rain.
Yes, that's why I suggest the wood.
We'll just hold up in the bog standard.
Wait. It is still. If we're gonna do this quickly, I'm sure we can get a tent from. Wait, actually, it's not even lunchtime. We could just be outside town for a bit. Come back at night, see where we stand.
We could very well sneak back in at night time. We've not had a good feeling walking around all morning.
Okay, so we get out of town for the day. We find somewhere a little bit sheltered under the edge of a tree or something. And
Yeah, as you mentioned that, I will say about what Ulfar mentioned earlier about he saw someone while he was looking at the bounty board.
yes, there was a sneaky fucker. Well, when I found this wanted thing that you took, yeah, there was somebody. I didn't see what they looked like, but they were being sneaky.
Okay.
So like unsteadily push my chair out and stand up and like, okay, are we going?
Yes, right. Everyone up. I say may as well not waste the brandy and hand the bottle of brandy to Ulfar.
It might get cold later. I like plug it with the whatever lid sort of thing it's got, and I go,
Cork.
cork it, and I'm just like, yeah, we maybe save it for later, especially if we are stuck out in the cold all night. I don't need any more right now.
Okay. All right, let's go. And if anyone sees anyone, just let me know.
Will do.
Definitely.
Righto, Chief.
I slapped my face to attempt to sober myself up a bit.
Okay.
Ulfa probably breaks into laughter watching you slap yourself.
Ooh, stand outside the bog standard.
I slap Ulfar jokingly.
We all stand outside the bog standard, and David just goes, "Please roll for initiative."
Okay, so until further notice, Ulfa and Duvar, you're essentially going to be suffering from a point of exhaustion. So disadvantage
I will
on
yeah.
all checks. or ability check.
Okay.
You're drunk until you sleep it off.
Yeah. Well, we've been drinking for like 3 hours, so realistically, the shelf life of that is probably 4 or 5 hours.
I could
As
have
long as you
finished.
don't drink anymore.
I could have finished a bottle on my own by then.
Yes, but we were social drinking. When you pretend you're not an alcoholic. Right. Do we see anything as we sort of stumble and make our way out of the pub?
I'm assuming we're going north.
Okay.
Yes.
Make
well,
a perception check as you exit the tavern.
Perception.
Inn, sorry.
Come on, 7.
Right, so I need to do this twice.
Oh, hey, it's getting better.
I got the 7.
The 2 drunk people notice stuff.
I got 12. 12
All right, I was going to say.
with disadvantage. It's 12.
Okay. Kasai, you think you catch sight of somebody who quickly ducks out of sight to the south.
Yeah. To the south. Okay, I'm going to say to everyone, right, quickly,
Make haste.
this way. I think someone's watching us from behind. Don't look back. And as I know that Ulfar's literally just going to turn around, I'll literally grab his chin and push it forwards.
Okay, I just stumble forward, like taking the instruction. I'm just docile, so like just sod off north.
You have a 350-pound tank stumbling across the path as you.
Okay, so as you
Okay.
head north, you'll see that there are more town watch than normal stood at the gate.
Ulfa tries to be like really nonchalant, but really isn't. He's just sort of like, "Hello, good evening, friends. Goodbye. Good hello, bye," and just sort of trudges out of the door.
450 pounds.
I'll sort of turn to Clark and ask, how sober are you? Do you reckon you can fly over the wall?
Yeah, should be coherent enough.
And say you're the most conspicuous one among us, apart from the turtle. But I don't think they have any reason to want him.
Stretch my wing.
So you sort of take your armor off and you're going to fly up and over the wall.
Yep.
Like by the gate or...
No, not via the gate. Sort of go round.
Okay.
Sort of around.
Yeah, so not very far from the gate, but trying to avoid it.
Yep.
And while Cluck does that, what's everybody else?
Just walking out the gate.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll
Walking
continue
out.
through the gates.
Yep. So there's 4 members of the town watch by the gate, and they will eye you suspiciously, but then their eyes are drawn off by Cluck flying.
As we go past, do we hear anything from them? Do they say anything?
They watch you suspiciously, but they don't say anything.
Okay. And there's no one who says anything when they see Clark or get drawn to Clark.
No, so one will sort of cover his eyes and sort of look at him as he flies past, and he'll nudge one of his colleagues, and they'll stare together.
All right. Yeah, I guess we'll continue now.
Oh, David, point of reference. By the maps that I've seen over the last little bit, how long do I believe it would take Gammon to get to where he was going from where we last saw him? Rough Like my best guess.
Between 4 and 8 days, depending on.
Yeah, whatever. Weather, etc. No worries.
So I take it we're just continuing to head sort of north on that trail into the swamp.
Yes, I think, yeah, our general idea was to head for that sort of semi-covered outcropping that we met gammon.
Okay, so you would know that to be at least a day's travel.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
we don't want,
not-
we
Yeah.
didn't want to go that far, did we?
Yeah, we only want to sort of get outside of town.
we probably don't want to stay in the marshes. I presume that we'll head just enough to get out of the marshes, inside of the woods, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, Ulfar's not really thinking. I'm out of character at the minute.
Well, the woods itself are pretty much just as far as where the point was. I think
Yeah.
his camp there-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're saying that's like a day's travel, that's too far.
Yeah, it's about 10 miles to get out of the swamp.
Okay. 10 miles. That's
We
2
need
or
to
3
just
hours.
chill in the swamp somewhere.
2 or 3 hours in like best conditions. The swamp isn't.
Yeah.
It's traversable, but
Yeah. It's just it's not a road.
And at the moment, you're not working quite straight.
Yeah, that's very true.
But we do have what was it called? Drinker's shoes or whatever they're called. So everything takes half an hour.
So are we sort of getting sort of an hour to half an hour outside of town, wherever we think is the sort of sturdiest bit for us to hang about?
Yeah, and if there's anything we can kind of use to hide behind.
Okay.
okay. So your intention is to sort of like move away from the Waymark Trail into the swamp. It's pretty desolate in that there's trees here or there. There's pools. There's like a little bit of like drier ground, but it's very much like flat, open expanse.
We cover ourselves in mud and pretend we're against a predator.
Predator this shit.
If I show you I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is generally what the terrain looks like. Dark. Yes, it is.
That's black.
Darkness.
Yeah, we've got black.
Dynamic off.
Still darkness.
Wait a minute, let it catch up. Nope, still dark.
How about
Oh, I've just refreshed and I.
Yeah.
Oh no, there we go.
Right.
So, yeah, just sort of like underneath like one of the trees here or something.
Yeah, we
yeah,
want to probably
but
follow.
that would be like essentially
It's
like
a bit sodden.
no, close to the road.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I
okay.
think that's our intention, is to follow the road and then get an hour or so outside of town and sort of pitch up somewhere, sort of.
Yeah, like by the side of the road.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's just like essentially you won't be hidden from the road. Like,
No.
anybody coming down the road would see you. That's fine. About an hour.
But equally,
But maybe we can.
the non-drunk ones among us would probably be able to see anyone coming for a fair way off. If I'd
But
say.
maybe if we think that Cluck is a liability, or people might recognise him, we could help dress him up a bit so he doesn't look too obvious.
This definitely sounds like a drunk person's idea.
It's perfect.
Of course, we put him in a dress. Why did I not think of it earlier?
He needs a dress and a bonnet.
It look and say, if you two want to dress him in a dress and a bonnet, you two can be the first to try. I will stand back and watch.
I just want it to happen because I want Cluck to have the opportunity to go. I swear by my pretty floor bonnet, I will end you.
Okay, so you travel for a couple of hours in the rain. It's quite a miserable time, but you will get far enough away that you can only just see like the smoke rising from Caldiceld and sort of most of the other details kind of hard to make out. You can see like the wall and maybe one or two of the towers, but that's about it.
Okay.
The rain is making it quite difficult to see though. Oh, excuse me.
That's right.
At this
Yeah.
point, I'll swoop out the sky.
Oh, you've been flying alongside the whole time?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's not fantastic. That's an obvious thing for somebody to spot.
See, more of it if I just fly over the wall and then land again.
I mean, that's relatively correct. Depends how fast he flies.
Yeah.
Well, if he's flying beside us, he's not flying very fast.
Yeah, so we get under the shelter of the tree that we've found and sort of sit around it, I presume. I will offer the brandy round if anyone wants a swig.
I will decline and suggest a short rest or something like that. See if we can.
Well, we're gonna be resting for a fair amount of time.
Yeah.
It's only like mid morning, midday.
And
We're
the
like
plan
an hour
is,
outside. It's probably like
No.
midday to 1 o'clock.
It's fine, but maybe a short rest would sober us up a bit.
it's probably going to take a long rest to do that, I would imagine.
Really?
Just because a
Imagine-
short rest is like an hour, I think.
Imagine a short rest is just you wandering around town for an hour
3 short rests in.
out of your nut.
I mean, yeah, I suppose, yeah, whatever. We planning just to wait it out till night? Is that's the plan?
Yeah, I'll sort of say that I think we should wait out till night and then maybe try to make our way back in.
Yeah.
See what's what.
Yeah,
Okay.
just while whatever was happening, it was good to get out.
Okay.
And then if we're still unsure in the morning, we should send one person in to fetch everything that we needed, and then meet on the other side of town and head towards
Hopefully,
Breckerby.
Far or Duval.
Uh,
Someone who's not known.
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. So yeah, Ulfar will probably like curl up, wrapped around the brandy bottle, and just like go to sleep.
While they're doing that, I'm just gonna, while they're chatting away, I'm gonna slowly put my armor back on.
Duval will look longingly at the brandy bottle.
It wouldn't be difficult to take. It's like it probably like falls out of my hand inside of 10 minutes of falling asleep.
No, but
Take the brandy bottle out your grasp and replace it with a log.
the thing is, Duval will want it, but he'll also know the importance of the situation.
Okay, so I'm hugging a log now instead. Is that right?
Yes, you
Okay,
are.
that's fine.
I'm gonna kind of sit and ruminate on what I wonder the guards wanted with Crawford, or in his establishment at least.
Yes, I mean, what could they possibly want with him?
He's an upstanding member of the community with no connections to anything dodgy whatsoever.
Yeah, but they got to be brave to start that war.
Mm-hmm. So, what are we doing?
Is anybody doing anything else while this time passes?
Not really. I'll just be looking around, making sure I don't see anybody.
Once Ulfar wakes up, he'll probably start leafing through some of the books he's got if there comes that sort of time that he's like awakened and feels no longer drunk.
Okay. I would like anybody who's looking around, so Cretel would make a perception check with disadvantage. Anybody else doing anything other than sleeping?
Do the same.
Okay, then perception checks with disadvantage for the inclement weather.
Perception check for disadvantage. Okay.
Is that perception? He's not looking around
Yes.
with disadvantage.
Oh. Okay, I see.
Bad in the scheme of things.
That's fine. They can be sorted with a bit of glue. That can...
No, he's not talking to us.
Oof.
Okay. Several hours will pass.
Yeah, sorry.
The sun will start to set. The rain continues. And you don't see or hear anything not like expected in the fact that you're sat in a swamp in a rain. So like the ground's going to be full of crawling worms. You know, you'll hear the occasional bubble from the swamp.
Do I recover my level of exhaustion during this time while I'm having a nap?
Yes. In fact, you will all gain the benefit of a long rest if you need one.
Nice. I play my drums.
Okay. So what sort of time are we looking at now?
It's getting towards dusk.
Okay. Yeah, I will pull out my book on alchemy and I'll start sort of thumbing through it while I'm waiting for somebody to make a decision as to.
Yeah, so while you're sheltered under the tree, the rain doesn't soak it, but the occasional drop will drip through.
Okay.
I will pull out my book on Goblin's Big Day Out and start filming.
Yeah, I'll try and huddle over my book as best I can to avoid to drop.
So do we plan to stay here for the night, or are we heading back this evening?
I think we said we were going to head back this evening, didn't
We at least need to send one person in
Yeah.
at the very least.
Tomorrow.
we? Yeah, tomorrow.
Um.
To at least collect all the gear.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, we can head back. Kasar, it was you that was worried. Like, what does your gut say?
Well, if they were after us directly, we wouldn't have made it out. But I don't know. Something isn't quite right.
Yes. Also, if they were looking for us, they would come looking for us. It wasn't like we weren't seen leaving.
Exactly. They didn't stop us,
No.
so it's not us they want directly. Though I'm still worried about the Empire.
Mm. Okay, let's go back to town. Let's see what's what.
Okay.
If we have to run, we have to run. Like, wouldn't be the first time.
I don't want to lose my tooth necklace. I've worked very hard for this.
No, I'm not letting go of my scimitar. Noble steed.
Noble steed. Um,
So yeah, I guess we'll head back.
yeah,
I guess.
probably really keeping an eye out at Caldiceld in our vision as we get towards it to see if we notice anything weird or strange.
I could have taken everyone out of the pub for no reason.
Yes, we're in a
But my-
perfectly good
but my-
drinking session.
My own paranoia, but it comes with the job.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Never
Do we notice anything strange as we head towards Caldiceld?
Nothing strange on the return. You'll see the lights start to spring up as the night rolls in. You can see far before you reach the gate that there are still guard stood in the gateway. The gate remains open as it has every time you've approached it.
Still that abnormal large number of guards? Or has that
It's
gone
the
down
same number as you saw earlier.
when we left? Okay. Okay. In we go then, lads, I suppose.
Mhm. I'll ask Kazar if he knows why the guards were probably going into the tavern. Because I think he said that they went past him into the sunken night, if I remember right.
My initial thought is that they were looking for me, but I then passed Faydark, who shot me a very worried glance, and my suspicion now is the Chamberlain. And I'll look at Kratel and I'll be like, it may be that thing we discussed.
Is it an idea that maybe one of the people that aren't so well known go and have a word with the Faydark and have a word with him?
And perhaps, and so I'd sort of say to Kratel, I'd say your order might be in danger as well if that's the case.
Yeah, because he did want to cause a bit of a ruckus in town, did
Yes, the Chamberlain has no love for both the brewery and for Crawford. Yeah, they're
Sounds
friends to
like-
us both.
It sounds like an asshole, this Chamberlain.
He is.
Right. Okay. So what is the plan? Do we want to check in with well, you said you saw the guard going to Crawford. Do we want to check in with your friend first?
Should we go and talk to Faydark?
I think let's get in first and then let's see if we can talk to Faydark.
Okay.
Find out what's going on. But let's focus on just getting back into the city first.
Yeah. Now, no longer inebriated as we walk through, I will be looking down alleyways and stuff, looking for the creeper that was spying on me before, see if I can get a glimpse.
And I'll be checking people when we pass to see if there's anybody that it looks a little bit out of place.
Yeah, worried about what's done. If we as we go down, are there torches attached to like all the outside of the places, like lanterns or something?
No. So apart from the gate, there are no other open torches outside. So the guards don't stop you as you approach. They'll sort of like, as you come and step into the light, they sort of like will look at all of your faces, but not impede your progress at all. The rest of the light
Also,
in
I'll
the
point
town
out, like,
sort of like it's been let out of windows and such.
my mall is still wreathed in flame. I never dispelled my continuous flame on my mall, so like I'm glowing by all intents. What like I've got a torch.
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything like actual fire, right?
It does. It lights. It lights like fire. It just doesn't have
Okay.
any heat, and it can't be smothered.
Yep. So as we're walking in the gate, then if there's no other torches, I'm gonna pull out the contract that I had and throw it into one of the braziers or the torches.
Okay.
Right by the guards.
It's just a crumpled up piece of paper, like a piece of rubbish.
Okay.
Just sort of
Just nonchalantly.
nonchalantly throw it in and just sort of watch it burn.
Roll a d20.
Oh god.
Kobe.
Okay. You throw it into the sconce of the torch, and it will catch and start to burn brighter. And you are immediately confronted by one of the guards.
And say, what's the problem?
You will ask
Hello there.
what you are doing.
Oh, it's just one of the posters from the wanted boards. Just no need for it anymore. Thought I'd brighten the light.
He will say that littering is a finable offence.
Wasn't littering, sir. I was just I was burning it to get rid of it.
Bribe him.
Is that whispered to him?
Make a deception check.
Middling.
Please stand by.
I would say the positive thing, at least, is by the point that we've reached this point of conversation, this thing should have burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's fireproof paper.
The flame starts to starts to burn green. Like
Yeah, it starts to burn green, and a giant demon pops out.
yeah.
Fuck it.
The guard is not convinced, and he will essentially on the spot fine you, as the torch does give off a glimmer of different coloured lights.
Oh shit! How much does he fine Kasar?
He will tell you that you've been fined a gold piece, and you will be issued with an edict that will prevent you from littering again.
Right, do I just pay you now?
He nods.
Okay.
And he will
Plus,
say
all
violation
two
of this edict will result in imprisonment and hard labour.
Jesus Christ!
It's essentially been like officially cautioned. That's what you need to think of this as: cautioned and fined.
Yeah.
Tough crowd, I say.
I'll
Yeah.
put the gold piece in his hand and just say, there. Apologies, I didn't know that putting paper into a fire was littering. I thought littering was only when it was waste on the ground. That's my mistake. I come from elsewhere.
We'll say, do not mistake it again.
Should have tucked it into his top pocket.
Yeah, and he will pocket the gold.
I'll just walk away. Jar, it's fine. It's fine. A gold is fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
We
torch
don't wanna
continues
raise-
to flicker in slight hints of other colours as the paper burns.
Oh shit! To be fair, that could just be whatever ink's been used. Doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah. I'll only sort of I imagine once I've given the gold across, it's like fully burnt by that point.
Yeah, there's no rescuing whatever it was.
Yeah. So then I'll continue into town.
Okay, yeah. Do I see anything in the alleyways as we walk down to the barracks?
Make a perception check.
16.
You don't see anything now. The weather is keeping most people out of the street, you suppose. There's only
Yeah.
a few people, and they seem to be dashing from doorway to doorway or from cover to cover as best they can.
No worries. Very funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I presume we're gonna go into the barracks. Is that the plan? And
Seems to be.
see Fader. Yeah.
Are we
Okay.
all going into the barracks or just the?
I think the lot of us were gonna. I think that was the plan. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think one or two of us should.
Okay.
Do you have a like you were sort of taking lead in terms of this general mission, Mike? Do you have a?
Don't pin this on me, please.
Hey.
I say like maybe Ulfar Duvar as the newer sort of
Okay,
people
we'll
go and
pop.
see them.
And you guys wait out here for us, and we go from there.
Yeah, we'll wait outside.
No worries. Okay, so yeah, I'll push my way into the barracks, presuming the doors are still open.
Yeah, the doors will open as you push.
I'll follow him.
Okay, you find yourself in the familiar sort of wooden
And
closed waiting area, counter, bars,
And
big iron door
anyone
opposite.
on? Yeah, anybody at the counter or?
Nobody's manning the counter.
I don't remember. Is there a bell, or
There
is it
is a
just a
bell.
case of bashing the side? Okay, I ding the bell.
Okay, after a few minutes, a guard will arrive, and he will ask, "What do you want?"
We were hoping to speak to Lieutenant Fadark if he was around to speak to us.
He's indisposed at the moment. Can I pass him a message?
Only that we noticed unusually large guard activity in the town. earlier today, and while we had other business, we wanted to obviously offer our services. We have worked well together at least once.
What is your name?
My name is Ulfa. I'm a cleric of the Stormlord. He will hopefully remember me. I with some of my compatriots were the one that covered the documents from the mages of the floating island.
So I will pass on a message. Where should he look for you? Should he want to take you up on your offer?
Oh, I don't. Probably the bog standard is the best place to catch us, or perhaps the Sunken Knight. We're moving about a lot lately with looking for work.
He
But
will.
try those places, obviously, if you
Yeah.
can't find us.
He will raise
Yes.
an eyebrow, but say no more.
Okay. Thank you for your help, sir. And I'll turn to Duvar. Ready to
Can-
go?
I'll just butt in a little bit and go. Is Fadok in, or is he indisposed, as in out?
He's indisposed. I'm not at liberty to say more.
Okay. I'll grumble a little bit and follow Ulfa out.
Um,
Okay.
apparently, Fadark is indisposed. I use finger quotations.
Yeah, and just so we know, just so you know, they know to look for you at the Sunken Knight or the Bog Standard.
Probably not best to have mentioned the place that they just raided as one of our stays, but
So if we're going to stay anywhere, let's choose another place. Maybe one of us should go up to either the Bog Standard or the Sunken Knight and just stay and watch.
well, you two definitely should just stay at the bog standard, I think.
Well,
What if some sort of malevolent thing should be going on at the Sunken Knight and you need us? Should we not at least come down there with you to check it out?
Let's go check it out and see what happened. Hopefully the guards aren't still there, but we should be careful.
Agreed. Okay. Yeah. So, presuming no one has any objections, we make our way down to the Sunken Knight. I'll continue to look in alleyway, creepy creepers.
Yeah, I'll stride down towards the Sunken Knight.
Okay.
I'll say to Kratel on the way that he may want to check in at the brewery once we're done.
Yeah, I'll nip by on the way out, though I imagine one of them would have been, well, there'd be a few out and about if anything was going on over there.
David, did you want another perception check for alley checking?
No, I will take your one from earlier.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, so you will pass to the Sunken Knight without incident.
If we sort of make our way in, is there anyone inside?
Yeah, so as you enter, there's two people near their half playing cards. And they're the only two people in the bar.
Okay, I'll walk up and sort of slap the bar and ask if sort of shout for Crawford, since I'm with everybody else.
Is it, David? We've been in here a couple of times, sort of in the evening. Would this be considered an abnormally quiet evening in the Sunken Night, as far as we established there?
I think the last two times we've been here, it's been completely empty. This is
That's true. You're right.
This is busy for
Yeah.
the Sunken Night.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
I would let you make a investigation check based on what
Okay.
you believe.
Okay, I'll do it. It's not going to go well. There is 2 seconds. Investigation. big old -2. That's a crit.
Okay. Feel free to add. What are you? Are you still a D4 or are you a D6 yet?
I
Add a
presume
D6 to it.
Add a D6. Okay. 2. That actually brings it to the original.
Brings it back to 20.
Yeah.
So the times you've been in here, Ulfa, it has been during the day, and it has
Yeah.
been mostly empty. But there's always somebody about. Now, it's quite late in the evening of what would be a sort of like a week. Oh, sorry, a weekday, a weekend evening.
Oh, okay.
So
So when
what?
you would expect an inn to be busy in
Yeah,
general,
like if it's not busy now, then
it's never busy.
it's never busy.
Yeah. Okay. So I cloak this as being weird.
Yes, but not necessarily weird, suspicious. At least not in the way that it's empty, and that's
No,
it's
I don't have enough information to go
yeah,
on. It's
but
just weird for.
it's just weird for
Yeah.
a tavern on what should be one of its better evenings to be quiet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do we get any response to Kassar's noise making?
I will continue if nobody else has anything else.
Silence is golden.
There's no response, Kassar. Crawford, if he's present, does not come.
Okay. I'll walk up to the two guys playing cards and I'll say, do you know where the barkeep is at all?
They exchange glances and look up at you.
Hello, sirs. Sorry to interrupt your game. Just looking for the barkeep if he's here. Have you seen him?
One of them will tell you that he went into the back probably about an hour ago. It's a quiet night.
No, he does seem it. I'll thank you, and I'll leave you to your game.
Yeah, they converse quietly and then go back to playing cards.
Okay. I'll turn to the rest group and sort of say I'll be right back. I'll just go see if I can find Crawford in the back.
Okay.
Do I notice if the guards are gambling or if they're just playing cards?
Make a perception check.
Oh.
So they seem to be gambling. There's a small pot of coins which is steadily increasing in the middle of the table. You're not quite sure what the game is, but they all seem to be holding 3 cards and exchanging one of those for a pot of 4 cards in the middle. And this seems to go on for some rounds.
Okay.
So as I go into the back, I'm not gonna open the secret door, but I'm just gonna knock.
Okay, so while Kassar disappears, what's everybody else do?
I'll probably like pull up a bench and start reading my book again, like presuming he's going to be back in a moment, but just try and like might as well use the time for something. Just leave my flaming maul on the bar, like arm's reach.
I'll approach the guards and ask them if it's an open game or is it just friends?
One of them will stand up and say, "Here, take my hand. I need
I'll
to
hold
get
his
myself a
hand.
new drink."
Oh, right. Okay, you mean cards? Okay.
He will nod and sort of like gesture to his chair.
Okay, I'll sit at the game and say, "What's the game?"
Okay.
With that.
Everybody else? So, Critel, Ulfa, Cluck.
I'm reading
Oh, sorry.
at the bar.
I'll just be keeping an eye to see what's going on.
Yeah, stand around.
Okay. So Duvar, the guy who's now playing cards with you, will tell you that they're playing it's Gambit, but it's with a twist, and he will go through some of the finer rules which don't make too much sense to you. But essentially, you gather it's a game where you've got to build a suitable hand, exchanging cards you don't want for cards that might come up in the table.
Okay.
And you can steadily bet as the game goes on.
Excellent.
Okay. Cretel and Cloak, I'd like you to make a perception check.
Come on, good roll.
Blam.
Okay. Cloak, you seem to be too interested in the game of cards that Duvar's now playing. Cretel, you will see the gentleman that's been playing cards get up, go behind the bar, and pour himself another tankard of ale. But as he returns, he attempts to slip in to the kitchen without drawing any attention to himself. But you do catch him. And Kassar, I would like you to make a perception check to see if you hear him.
Bad.
You definitely hear him.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's
He
like,
spills half his beer.
I'm just gonna check what's back here. Slam.
Yes, so sort of like because the kitchen's a bit of an L shape, as he steps through, he will catch something, potentially something strung up to make noise for those that aren't aware of it. But it would give you half a second to a second of time to decide what you're going to do. Do you need a reminder of what the place looks like?
Yes, a little bit, but I have a rough idea of what I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah, so if I share this. Apologies for the snip. I don't have this as a map because I don't intend to use it for combat.
Oh, you can't tell us that. Now we know we're safer than the Sunken Night forever.
It's got a grid. I could make it into combat if I needed to.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say.
Yeah, I should have just kept my mouth shut and then known it was a safe space.
So obviously, you're here somewhere.
Well, hold on. Where have you posted this?
It's in the stream. Ha! I forget that you can't see it.
Oh, I can see. Yeah, I can see it in the stream. Sorry. Yes.
Ah.
Oh, so those stairs are going down, and then there's stairs up to the rooms. Okay, I'll sort of like pop my head out and sort of, as the guard walks in, I'll pop my head out into the kitchen and walk back out and is the
Everybody keeps saying guards.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't know why someone said guards and now I'm
Duvar
saying
said
guards.
guards like quite a
Guest.
while ago, and it
Yeah.
just caught on. It's just guys.
Guys, so
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
is the door to the north? Do I know if that goes up to his quarters, like upstairs to his quarters?
No, that would be the stairs in the bar.
Ah, okay. I'll pop my head out and I'll say I can't find anyone here, and I'll just sort of like cut my hands off and yell, "Barkeep! Barkeep!" So I can't find bloody anyone. Where do you get your ale from?
So does the guy that was creeping just sort of stumble back toward into the bar?
He will now head in and speak with Kassar, and he will say that he came this way earlier. How very strange. And then he will drain his tankard.
I say maybe he's headed out the back or something. I don't know. but I can't seem to find anyone.
He will walk over to the back door and try it, and it appears to be locked. Says, well, if he's gone, perhaps he will be gone for a while.
Maybe so. Well, I think maybe I should just pour myself an ale rather than wait. I'm an honest man. I'll just leave some coppers on the bar. I'm sure it shouldn't be a problem.
He will nod and sort of stand around in the kitchen.
I'll sort of walk past him and say, "Come on then. Are you having another drink or what?"
He says yes and will follow you back out. Duvar, at this point, I'd like you to make an intelligence
The
check.
guard has all my money.
Yeah.
A what? Sorry, check.
An intelligence check. We'll get to
Intelligence?
we'll get to he has all your money in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as sort of he's talking to you about how to play the rules, you're not quite sure, but in the end you end up losing about 6 or 7 gold.
Oh, really? Can't be right. So, Devara's a seasoned player of games he's never seen.
Maybe you're still hungover.
Right.
Is Cluck watching all of this out of curiosity?
Cluck is. It's not, he's watching the movement more than anything.
Sorry, having an internal moment. Just very funny.
Share with the
Okay.
group.
It's funny that it's just because Duvar owes Cluck money. He told Cluck he was broke, and he's seen him
I
just.
No,
didn't-
betting
Yeah,
money.
I didn't tell Clocky he's broke, or I was broke.
You did.
No, I didn't.
No. I said it was broke. Duval was less
What?
specific about his financial. He's changed the subject on every occasion it's come up.
That's like about Cluck's just sitting there watching it, like, yeah.
Taking notes.
Okay. As I see Kasar come back in, I'll close my book and sort of like, no sign.
Seems like he's out.
Right. So, sorry. Do I lose 6 or 7? Or should I
6.
remove it now?
Yes, please. Like out of game, there's no way for you to regain it because you're essentially being cheated by somebody who's telling you a bullshit game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're too stupid to know.
That sounds about right.
See if it was dice. Dice is a real man's game. To cheat at.
Also, like Ulfa's not bright, so he's probably reading out loud at the bar. That probably didn't happen.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what game I'm proficient in, or am I just proficient in?
It's like 10. 10. I have like 2 10s. Is 10 good?
Yeah, and I'm showing the cards to the guy.
Yeah.
And the guy's
It's
like,
good.
no,
It's good,
10's terrible. 10's the worst you can have.
You're essentially you're playing cups from Friends. It's sort of like introducing new rules as it goes along, and they always seem to be to your detriment.
You had the ace, but you didn't touch your nose and do the little foot wiggle, so now you're down.
I don't think you're proficient in any sort of game. Judging
No,
off
it's just,
your sheet.
Just a drum and flute and brewer supplies, or drum playing the drum or something like that.
Yeah, playing the drum, playing the flute, and making beer.
Yep, sounds perfect.
You and Ares would have gotten so well.
So, Kasar and his newfound friend will walk back into the main bar area.
I'll start pouring myself an ale and grab a couple of cups down. I'll ask the guest who followed me. I was like, do you need a top up?
He will say no, that he's going to go back to his game before your friend manages to lose all my money.
That would be wise. Have an enjoyable evening. And what was your name?
Ooh,
Dave,
nice.
Mike.
His name is not Dave.
Big Dave.
Big Al.
Evad.
He will say,
Bad.
can I come up with a name for him now?
Yeah, no,
Is that-
we got this,
No.
David. Don't worry about it. We'll come up with
Yeah.
it. So, guys, what was the name?
I am the DM now.
I am the...
Let me
His
just
name
get
is
the
Gas.
website of names up.
He will say his name is Quinn.
Quinn.
Quinn, eh?
Is he a medicine woman?
Oh, nice.
No, I don't think anyone but a few people will get that reference.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a pretty deep cut. Right. Okay.
Duvar sees the guy coming and hands the cards back, saying, "Your friend is quite the card player. I'm still not sure what's going on."
Yes, he will say that Sadon always has been much better at cards than he lets on, and he will give him a knowing eye.
And I will immediately stand in front of Duvar and just say, "Cough up. I've been watching you hand over money."
Well, I've been trying to get you some money.
I'll just sort of say, "Come on, cough up.
I've got no money to give, I'm afraid.
Don't make me poke every
Not-
nook and
not-
cranny."
you can poke for all you want. You're not getting any money.
Don't make me tip you up and put you on your back.
Bar brawl.
I'm standing right next to two guards here.
You don't know if they're God, they're just
You are
guests.
committing to this lie about the
Yeah.
guards that he's telling everyone.
They seem to ignore you and go back to playing cards.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna ignore it and just sort of eye it with interest as I sit at the bar with an ale, like as Cluck's slowly getting angrier.
I'm gonna walk past Cluck and grab myself a drink.
I'm gonna grab you as you
Whoa.
Oh, and I try to step out of his grasp using my monk powers.
your monk powers a weak old toe.
Okay, so Cluck, you go to grasp him. Make a strength athletics check contested by your athletics or acrobatics, Duvar.
Athletics and acrobatics.
I'm literally going to get myself
Oh,
a beer
crit
and
fail.
Okay,
Fucking-
you both end up in a heap on the floor.
Amazing.
I could
But 450 pounds of Duvar land on top of him, right? Please tell him
No,
to say
no, no.
that.
So he sort of like leaps for you and misses.
Hang on, why is that a 1? Because my things are
Because
plus
you
8.
you've
'Cause you
done
didn't-
acrobatics, not
Not
athletics.
strength. No,
No,
you should
my
have done strength.
You were
My
meant to do
acrobatics is
athletics.
yeah, my
Yeah.
acrobatics is plus 6.
Well, I don't know what
Your
you're doing.
acrobatics
Don't know
should be
either.
+6.
No,
Your,
you're not-
your
you're not
athletics is
dex-based.
+7, but still a 1's a 1.
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So
One is
yeah.
a one.
You both
So
end up.
as you go to grab him, you sort of like misjudge and tumble over a table. And as Duvar turns and looks and starts laughing, he laughs so much he sort of falls onto his back.
And he can't get up.
He can't get up. Oh my god.
It's a turtle on his back.
I lean into Kassar. I was like, "Do you think this is some kind of bit?"
Whatever it is, it's entertainment for the evening. So sit back, grab an ale, and relax.
I'll just stand up and
Yes.
say, I won't forget the money you owed me and Kazar.
Didn't think you were an elephant.
That joke makes no sense in this universe.
No, no. It's
No, what's the elephant creatures called?
Loxodons.
They don't exist.
Oh, don't they not?
No.
Okay.
No, like the only person that's been anywhere arid like is Ulfar.
Me isn't. I thought yes, maybe might have been on my long journeys. I don't know. It's not something I've come across.
Probably not. And there's
Probably
no
not.
Loxodon in the arid areas either.
No.
Ah, well. You don't look like a creature with a that might not forget.
Okay.
You're essentially saying you're too stupid to remember.
I'm not. I'm just joking with him. I'm not saying that, but I'm just joking with him. Anyway, I go to the bar, grab an ale, 2 ales, and hand one to Cluck.
Is this going to become a thing now? Every time Cluck money, you hand him a drink.
And then I drop the same amount of copper coins that, twice the amount of copper coins that Kazar dropped onto the bar. If I notice what they were.
Okay. Cretel, awfully
Yes.
quiet, sat there in the corner.
I am keeping watch because I don't trust these people.
Oh, well, I wouldn't trust me either, but come on.
I think he means the guys playing cards.
Yes, those.
He knows not to trust everybody else.
Considering we can't find Crawford anywhere, I'm rather skeptical of how they ended up in here and just sat down anyway.
They seem to be ignoring most of you and just continue playing their cards.
I finish the ale up and suggest that we move on, maybe, to the move on and step out. How far are we from the guards, by the way? Yeah, could they hear us talking? Are we...
Not guards.
Guys.
Oh, the guys.
Well, me and Kassar were sitting at the bar. The other two were in a table, sort of in the middle of the room, sort of, I don't know, 5-10 yards from us, I'd imagine. Was that fair, David?
I motioned to Kazar that I want to suggest that I want a word with him, a quiet word.
I will raise
About
an eyebrow.
30 feet away from you because they're sort of sat in the corner.
Okay.
I'll just raise an eyebrow and walk over to the turtle man.
I will refill his drink, just to make it appear that we're just chatting, and I'll suggest just say, if you want to go and have a look in the back, maybe stepping out and going around, maybe an idea, instead of coming in through the normal means.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Crawford wasn't in the kitchens or the storerooms, so he must have either gone out or he's not here for certain.
What about downstairs?
What about downstairs?
Is it some place that we should be looking?
No, there's nothing downstairs that I know about.
Shadily.
Are you speaking like really quietly, because like Ulfa's right there?
Yes. Well, I am I'm speaking quietly enough to not make it obvious to Alpha that to not so Alpha doesn't overhear if
I'm
possible.
going to be honest, Ulfa's probably gone back to reading his book. He's probably not paying attention. You'd have to be quiet until you can pay attention.
And I'll just mention so that Kretel, just to make it clear to Kretel, Kazar, sorry, that I know about the downstairs and that when he went down there to fight before, I will raise an eyebrow and suggest where you went when you went with your friend before.
No, there's no scheduled entertainment tonight. So without Crawford, there's no entertainment. No
Okay,
no bar fights tonight apparently.
then we're wasting our time here.
Yeah, I think we should just stay and sleep here, or we should just go back to the book standard. Personally,
Mm-hmm.
Since we're here, just stay here. Grab our stuff in the morning and then go.
So this isn't an inn.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, we're talking about sleeping in chairs essentially, if we chose to.
yeah, like an all-nighter at a pub.
Mm.
What do you call it? Like a sit-in,
A
lock-in.
lock-in.
Lock in.
Seeing like if I like look up and see Duver and start talking, I'll sort of stride over to them and go, "I've just had a thought. I'm obviously talking quiet enough not to be heard by the people on the table, at least best I can. I was like, I know a spell that allows me to communicate with someone I'm familiar with, mind to mind. It is a spell that takes a lot from me. I could do it but once. I could maybe use it to try and talk to Fadak or to Crawford, wherever they are. But I would only get a short message in reply.
What kind of what do you mean, like telepathic? Do you need to be with
Yes.
them, or
No, I can reach out mind to mind. We can share a few sentences, one for initially from me and then a reply.
that sounds very strange.
The power of the gods is very strange. It does very strange things.
Crawford doesn't know you very well, so talking to him probably wouldn't be the best idea. Fadark knows you. If you're going to talk to someone, talk to Fadark. Generally, Crawford only trusts those he knows.
Yes, I mean I could make it clear in my message I was talking on your behalf, but I don't know if it's.
I think Fadark's our best bet.
With Fedor could be back in the barracks and usable by morning. So should we see whether he turns up again?
Yeah, let's wait until morning, I guess.
Okay.
Shall
But
we?
I have that option. Should we think it is a best course?
But I think Fadark's the best option, personally.
No. Okay. So are we planning to stay here for the night, or are we heading back to the bog standard? What do we think of?
What say the rest of you?
Well, I'm going to have to pay the Brotherhood a visit and make sure nothing's going on over there.
Yeah, so that might be worth a go.
If we're planning to sleep in it out, go back to the book stand. Otherwise, have a lock in.
Yeah.
Well, we've spent the day sort of resting, so none of us tired per se.
Technically, just sleeping out so we can go pick our stuff up.
Yeah, if Cattell wants to head back to the Blackwater and we just sort of spend the night doing whatever.
Cotel, do you need some company just to make sure you get over there fine?
You can come over, yeah. However, they're very selective on who they let in. You have to be a member.
Well,
Which
I can always
could-
wait for you.
Yeah, you can if you.
I like the way you said selective, making it sound like a bunch of racists. They're quite
And you have to be a member.
selective about who they let in.
Not
See, I
giant
told you
turtle.
I had a bad feeling about them. I knew that. Beer and silly
Okay.
name. That sounds like the clan to me.
Okay, so what's everybody doing?
I'm gonna say.
Splitting,
I'm gonna
splitting
say.
the party.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say. I'm gonna say to Ulfar, with Kretel and them heading back. Do you think it's worth trailing them to see if anyone follows them, considering what you saw earlier?
It would not be a terrible idea, although I am not. Like I put like a hand patting on my like flaming and like then like jangle my arm and I go, probably best it is not me.
Yeah, I'll sort of put my arm on your shoulder and give you a very gentle smile, like you would to sort of someone who's who's not getting the idea, and sort of say, yes, I didn't mean you. And I'm gonna sort of look up and down at myself.
Yes, that is a better plan.
Just to see if anyone does, and if they do, I'm just gonna sort of try and see who they are. I'm not gonna attempt to get close. It's not worth it.
That is a plan. How long away should I start to worry about you?
Half an hour.
Okay.
It'll take them 5 to 10 minutes to get across town, and 5 to 10 minutes back. Anything longer than that, and there's got to be something happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Would that be about right, David, to walk across to the Blackwater Brewery from there?
Yeah, and it depends what they're doing there, but sure.
Do you want to share them?
Well, if Kazar's only going to watch them there and then come straight back, like he's just going to do the 2 journeys, isn't he? He's not going to wait for them.
Yeah, I'm not waiting for them.
Yeah, then about 20 minutes is about right.
Okay. So yeah, I will keep an eye on the time. I approximate sort of half an hour.
Kazar, stealth mode.
I am the knight.
Yeah, this went very well for him last time.
Dun, 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 dun,
Let's have a look at the moon.
Oh crap!
It's not going to be easy, Bob. It's fine because it'll only be like, what, 5 days?
Okay, so because you might not be aware, but your characters would be. There are 2 moons with different orbit periods. There's
Yeah.
San and Sol, named after Sunday and Sol
Yeah.
Day. San does a complete cycle in 20 days. Sol does a complete cycle in 80 days. Whenever it's a combination of either a double full moon or a double new moon, it's normally got religious and supernatural connotation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've
Well,
just
if
got
I'm-
to the end of one of those 2 cycles.
Sol was a full moon 3 nights ago. San,
Sol
Yeah.
was the 80-day one.
yes, San
Yes.
is starting
Coming up.
to wax, so it will become a full moon on Maker's Day.
Okay, in a couple of days.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. I don't know he's a werewolf, so I can't.
No, I don't think anyone knows who he's a werewolf.
And I
No,
don't
he doesn't
believe
know.
it.
He doesn't think he's a
He
werewolf,
just thinks
does he?
he's super strong. No reason. Oh dear. Okay, so yeah. Well, I will. I'll open up my book and read, sort of, I don't know, 2 or 3 chapters, which was probably what would take me half an hour to do while they're gone.
Time to get my stuff imbued in silver for no reason at all. Anyway, yes. So we're leaving. We're leaving Kretel.
Yep.
I step out into the night. And I suppose we walk through the jungle.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll wait till they get about 40 feet away, just as they're about to turn the corner.
Okay, and as you're both heading out, as all 3 are heading out, Cluck, what are you doing? So you see, like, everybody get up to leave apart from Ulfar.
I will go to head out and say to Ulfar, you staying put?
Yeah, I don't fancy about it.
I say, okay.
Who are you heading out with, Cluck?
So I see everyone else heading out the door. So,
So you're going with Critel then, the first person to go out.
well, I
Critel
noticed
and
everyone else
Duvar.
was gone, and I noticed you're the last one to leave. So I'm just sort of nosing, poking my head out.
Yeah. So
So,
essentially, the thought process is I'm going to wait until they kind of get around the corner, about 40 feet away. And just before I walk out the door, I'm just going to cast Pass Without Trace on myself,
Mm-hmm.
and then sort of step out the door and just start to follow them.
Okay.
Like as quietly as I can.
So I would like everybody who's leaving to make a perception check for the time they're outside.
Dun, 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 dun.
Does Kasar get advantage for being like particularly
Is it?
perceptive?
Yeah.
No, by being particularly perceptive, you get to roll a check rather than use your passive.
Okay.
Is it a sight one?
Uh,
So I might
I'm
get
gonna
advantage on
say
that.
no. It's gonna be a combination of sight and sound.
Okay.
And technically, you should all have disadvantage for the rain, but hey ho.
You are a merciful.
Says the person who's been left behind with two strangers.
It's okay. I'm a storm priest in the middle of a storm. I wouldn't. I'm quite happy where I am. I'll tear this place apart.
It's not a storm; it's just rain.
Rain can become a storm.
It can. The full description is strong rainfall, gentle breeze.
Okay. Yeah, we can turn that up.
Okay, I'm missing a check from Cluck.
Yes.
So, you will travel across town, and well, Duvar, Quatel, and Cluck, you don't see a sign of anybody. Kasar, you see a few people, but you believe them to be townsfolk because they're either like entering buildings or dashing from cover to cover. They don't seem to be following you in any event.
Do I see anyone sort of following Critel and Duvar?
No,
Okay.
apart from yourself and Cluck.
Hmm. Okay. In which case, sorry, I'll sort of get to about here and then just sort of watch them enter the brewery.
Okay, so Quatel, if you sort of rap on the door, you are allowed to enter, but Duvar is not granted entry.
If you wait here, I'll be back shortly. I'm just gonna see if anything's happened.
And a silence is taken as agreement.
Mm-hmm. That or he's found that bottle of brandy again.
Okay, so you are taken or let into the brewery, and you know your
Sorry.
well sufficiently well.
Yep, I will see if I can hunt down Brother Steelfist.
Where do you check for Brother Steelfist?
I will check in the dining area to see if he's having another
Yeah, the area you found him almost in all of your visits.
at least 90% of the time. Yeah.
Yes, he seems to be becoming a rather rotund dwarf while you've known him. You think his recent promotion has gone a bit to his waist, and he will welcome you in with a pint.
Which I will sit at his table if there's space.
He will make space. And his table is kind of like a long dining table with benches either side, so it's like one continuous table.
Fair enough. Well, I will sit down next to him, and I'll turn and I will say, "So, Has anything strange happened today at all? As there's been an awful lot of goings on in the town. There's been the town watch pretty much everywhere.
So you've seen it as well.
Yeah, but we just can't find. I can't find out any information about what's going on, and Crawford seems to have gone missing as well.
He will take a long sip from his mug and says, well, perhaps those two situations are linked.
I was thinking they might be. However, I'm just unsure as to what's going on right now. Has anyone heard anything, or do we know anything?
He will say that the Brotherhood is aware that Crawford may have some more illicit dealings than he would like to admit, but the town guard haven't intervened so far, and they're not sure why they would now. If that is what's happened,
It could have something to do with the Chamberlain. He did want to start that war between ourselves and Crawford.
he says yes, but involving the town guard is would complicate things. I don't think it's his doing. He will say.
True, Faydark would pretty much put a stop to that if he heard anything or caught any like whiff of something going on like that.
Exactly. Now, do you know if he was involved in the town watch's going-ons?
One of my companions did see him walking towards Crawford's place.
Then it's possible that this whole thing was his operation. Although to what end, I don't know. We will we'll press some of our sources, see if we can find out what the town watch are up to.
That would be helpful because also apparently there's been some inquiries in town about myself and my companions from the Empire.
He will raise an eyebrow and ask you something to worry about.
Not for the Brotherhood. It won't come back on like us. I am just unsure as to what they really want. All I know is they've been asking for people by the description of me and my companion.
And you trust your companions?
They have saved my lives more times than I can count.
Then whatever the Empire want must be unjust. But you
Also
must be careful, Critel. If the Empire really want them, and you oppose them, do not bring the Brotherhood into this. They will make life very difficult for us if we oppose them directly.
Well, I will not make any mention of my affiliation.
So that would be for the best.
However, I will also defend myself and my companions if they do try to do anything to us.
He will nod and drain his drink.
All right. As there isn't any real info about what's been going on, I'll see what I can dig up. But otherwise, I believe we should be leaving town in the morning.
He will say for Badir.
Well, my intention is to aim over that way, yes.
Say good. It has been some time since we received the request for aid.
Yes, I got a little sidetracked with the wizards, unfortunately.
He will say that there's nothing to apologise for. You did what was right, but we can't leave our brothers waiting too long.
I will do what I can. Do you have any idea of what kind of aid they require? Just so I can prepare.
The message did not say. But, well, we are of a kin, so to speak. We have not had direct dealings for some time, so whatever it is, it must be of concern for them to have asked for our aid.
Okay, I will treat it as my next priority.
He will say that is good.
I am unsure when we will be venturing back this way. So I will say goodbye for now, and I hope to see you in the future.
Says safe journeys and a full tankard.
Safe journeys to yourself too.
Okay. Ulfar, one of the gentlemen playing cards, will get up and declare that he's hungry, and will say that he's going to go and fix himself something to eat. And sort of as he passes the bar, he sees you and sort of like, so you can see you're sort of an afterthought, but he will say to you, would you like anything?
No, my friends return shortly. I will wait to eat with them when they come back. Thank you for the thought, though, my friend.
He will nod and head back into the kitchen.
I presume, like, we're about what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, them gone.
Yeah, it's about that sort of time when he goes into the kitchen.
Obviously, I've got no like clock to judge it by, but by my sort of guesswork.
Yeah,
So
by your
I'm not,
reckoning.
I'm not worried. Yeah.
No, there's definitely no reason to worry.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'll probably just go back to reading my book.
Yeah, as I've seen them gone in, I'm just going to start heading back too.
Okay, so you kind of leave Dulvar stood outside, Kasar?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
So I'll head back.
Okay. Duvar, make a perception check while you're stood outside.
Roger, Roger. One perception check. 20 coming up.
You ruined it now. Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, so you're finding it really hard to concentrate with the not only the rain, but the sort of the noise and the mainly the noise from the brewery. You can hear above all else like like barrels being rolled or dropped or something, but there's like a sort of occasional repetitive bang.
Okay.
And I think, given the time, that's probably where we're going to stop for the night.
Mm-hmm. There it is. Yeah, I don't think we can get any better of a stopping point anytime quickly.
No.
Nah, that works.
Okay. So, just check. So next Monday is the 24th. I have a all-day off-site meeting, which I should get back in time for, but it might be something essentially I'll have to let you know on Monday afternoon whether or not I'll make it back. But my expectation is I will.
No worries.
Okay.
Just a pre-warning, by the way. The second onwards for that week, I don't know if I'll be able to, because we're moving on that week. So
Okay.
Okay.
be aware. I'll let you know nearer the time, but we'll have to see.
There it is.
Laptop with tethering.
No excuse.
Not my laptop, you don't.
Okay. So that's it from me. If you're still watching the stream, thank you very much, and do feel free to give us a follow if you haven't already. just quickly run through everybody assembled, see if anybody's got anything they want to say or share. Starting with Clock.
Please help you if you're still watching us. I know
Are you that bored?
convoluted journey that we have.
Yes, this session was called On the Road Again, and it was simply not on the road again.
We were on the road for about an hour.
Yeah. Kassar.
Nothing from me.
Kretel.
Well, if anyone is watching, thanks for watching.
Duvar.
If you're watching and understand what's going on, could you let me know? Because
And finally, Ulfar.
The lesson of today's session is get drunk and your DM will give you inspiration. It is definitely always the best plan and always works out for the best.
Yeah, that did work out pretty well for you.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.
thank you very much.
See ya.
Bye.